just in case I am live and anybody is actually out there right now. We're just tying everything in. We had some technical difficulties concerning devices here, and it whacked my audio all out. I was hearing the audio from one of the other devices, and I couldn't get it to electronically switch over and all that. So we're just going to let a few people dribble in, try and find me, and all of that. Let's just see if I've got any notifications online of what I'm doing here. Live. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Okay, so we've got Ben Scheidegger in. Hey. Storm Cop. Hey, hey. And Storm Cop, I am here. That's good to hear. All right. Tim Henry is in. Brother, feel free, by the way, to give a link to your channel. I know you're trying to get a new channel. I sub to you. I sub to you. And once again, I'm sorry for the interruption. Um, and the problem is when some, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Storm Cop.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
So sweet.
He says, looking good. $5 from Storm Cop. Not the first in today, though, by the way. And thank you, Storm Cop, of course. But I woke up this morning and I realized I hadn't put out my thumbnail for today. So I hastily did it. And the first one in with a hey was Ben Scheidegger. And then he followed that immediately with a $2 super thanks as well. Thank you, Ben. And he says, looking forward to the stream tonight. Hashtag power of two. See what he did there? $2. And of course, Storm Cop just came in with a $5 super thanks. And I will be giving some shout outs here in a minute. I'm trying to realign devices. We're in no hurry to shut down tonight. Okay. And I'm not going to be meandering here for 10 or 15, so don't worry about that. But I do want to get caught up on the devices so everything is in sync. I put notes on the screen. I have using one device for my notes, one device for monitoring you guys, and another device is filming me. I'm using the front camera of my iPad Pro. Okay, and I can see myself in the screen. That's how all this magic's done. In case any of you were ever wondering, but we'll let some folks get in here tonight. We're going to be talking about choosing the greatest trio bands of classic rock, or how I retitled this, since I had to, retitle the whole thing. I said choosing classic rock's, gave an apostrophe. I'll correct that. Anyway, choosing classic rock's top trio bands of all time. All right. And it's also subtitled The Tribe Chooses. Okay, so we're going to be going over, this is actually part 3, folks, of 3 streams in a row. Unfortunately, I started the stream last night and got our internet went down, and I had to reconnect, much like I'm doing today, for totally 2 different reasons. But then I did the remaining stream. There was about a half an hour on part 1. And I thought it was a good intro, so I kept that there, and I just retitled them Part 1, Part 2, and when this goes to replay, I'll retitle it as Part 3. But if you have not seen those streams and you're watching me right now and going, what's going on here? What? I'm in the middle of Part 3? I'll give you a synopsis of what we covered, how we came to a list that I'm going to read today. And then we're going to use the remainder of the stream discussing that list with you folks, because all of this is now going to be going into a brand new poll that I'm going to do. And I will announce the results of that poll either on a special stream and or an actual one of my videos. Okay. And what we're doing is we're going to be identifying the top, first of all, 30 trio bands of classic rock. All right. Now, before I get into that, I do want to do these shout outs. Okay. So we're going to be identifying the top 32 trio bands of classic rock because we came to the conclusion that we would stick it with classic rock. There were a few of you who wanted me to include bands that were outside the classic rock era or even genre or bands that weren't able to perform. But most of you agreed with me that we were looking for this poll anyway, for this poll only, um, bands that were around in 1965, 66 ish, right? All the way through grunge and whenever it petered out. You know, I always give the last breath of rock and roll about 2005, right? But many of you would say, no, it was like the late 90s, maybe if you include grunge. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing. But before we get on to that, I did want to give shout outs. I always do this. This is my way of saying thank you to those of you who gave us super thanks on our very last stream, which was last night. All right. Last night, first guy in last night was just the facts man, a friend of mine. We've never met in person, just like I've never actually met Royce in person. And I consider both Dan and Royce good friends of mine. Okay. And just the facts man came in. Oh, he's got a great channel. You should go over there and sub him up. He is of the tribe. All right. And in every sense of the word, I love the man. But he came in with a $10 super thanks. Franco Blondie, the first time I'd seen you in Franco, thank you so much, with a $5 super thanks. Oh, so edgy, long time commenter to this channel and new moderator. I just made you, if you're still out there, Oso, or if you refound me, I made you a moderator for the channel. Uh, who else did I take care of? Do you remember, Kimberly? I'm trying to remember. See, when a stream crashes, then all of my minute memory of who did what, when, where, and how kind of goes out the window until I can catch my breath. But oh, good Lord, I'll see you in the comments, and I'll bring you back out as well. But we added two moderators to the tribe tonight. All right. And Oso Edgy came in with a $5 super thanks. Deuces Wild with a $20 super thanks. Rockin' Robin Bird with the power of two, a $2 super thanks. Ben Scheidecker with a $5 super thanks, followed by the power of two, a $2 super thanks for a total of $7 right in a row. Thank you so much, Ben. Joseph Blue, who I've shared some time with on screen over at Royce in the House, gave us a $2 super thanks. Ben Scheidecker was back in with a $5 super thanks, as was Stormcop55 with a $5 super thanks. And he followed that up with a $20 super thanks. $25. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Ben, all of you, all of these, $2. Michael Boswell had a $2 super thanks. Thank you, Michael. Right? Helene Spalding came in with a $10 super thanks. Rockin' Robin Bird, $5 super thanks. Ben Scheidecker in again with yet another $5 super thanks. Thanks so much, Ben. You guys really do help this channel out. No freaking
Oh my
doubt.
goodness, Nethead just came in with a super
Oh,
thanks.
wow.
Oh,
I
thank
just
you
saw
so
that.
much,
Let
Nethead.
me take a look at this.
That is so
Nethead, $5
nice.
super thanks. Thank you, Nethead.
Oh,
And Net, this isn't the first time you've done that, brother. I appreciate it so much. I think you're
oh,
a brother. I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong, you know. But a nethead you shall be, right? And you say, when you are alone listening to classic rock whilst wondering in the forest and happen upon the tribe. Ooh, I love it. You didn't tell me you were a poet. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. You know what? Ben had a comment, and I'll bet you it's not there. But what was he talking about? Oh, about it being, I think it was Ben. Amazing how bands could back in the 70s and late 60s technology, which was really good technology at the time, by the way. This isn't back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, right? But that but compared to today's digital technology, the last 25 years, the increase in technology has just been so phenomenal that it does look a bit antiquated. Uh, but it was absolutely, especially once you got into the mid 70s, there was some amazing technology available to bands. But compared to today, antiquated. And you brought up that uh, even with that technology, and only three musicians usually guitar, bass, and drums and make such a sound that people are still listening to it. I mean, what a rudimentary approach. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this whole thing before anyway. Royce and I have talked a whole lot about power trio bands. We've never done a big power trio kind of collective to my memory anyway, but we've always talked about uh, how we like our power trio bands. And we've talked about power trio bands over on Royce in the House, haven't we? So, but
Oh my
think about
goodness.
that.
Deuces
I see that.
just came in with a thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Deuces Wild.
Deuce is
Awesome.
wild with a
Oh,
$5 super thanks.
oh.
He says, I wanted to let the tribe know Becoming Led Zeppelin is on Netflix.
Ooh.
That's good. You know what? If you guys are, I don't want to put out the money. I know it's available digitally, but you've already got Netflix. Thanks for letting us know, Deuce. I appreciate that. Um, Yeah, it's an amazing film. I've done more than my fair share on streams and in videos covering that, even over on Royce in the House. I am a fan of the film. I love it. I'm waiting. I do want to do like a retrospective of it coming up on a stream. Okay, because there are things that are not there in the film that could have been, but there's also a strong argument that they shouldn't have been. So I've been kind of wrestling with that, Deuce, right? But yeah, you guys got to see it. My final analysis will not be that it's a bad film. I can tell you that right now. Okay, but I'm looking at it and it's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb now, isn't it, guys? Think about that. There it is, Becoming Led Zeppelin. Albums one and two. Where's three and four and five and six and seven and eight? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're just kind of, it's like, and then,
RBR, the
I,
Retro Beat
I
Repository.
saw that.
Thank
Oh,
you so much. That's
thank
so
you, Retro
nice.
Beat.
Thank you.
RBR,
Oh,
the Retro Beat Repository. Here's what he has to say. I
oh.
know it goes way back before classic rock, but the first rock power trios were Elvis, Bill Scotty, and Buddy Holly, and the Crickets, and we covered that. And when I get to my synopsis here, I'll be talking about that. But thank you so much for the super thanks, Retro. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. You know, I always appreciate your comments. Um, yeah. So here, well, no, actually, this is a good launch point. So not only did you give me $5, but you are now my segue. Um, let's talk about Elvis was never mentioned in the article that I based this whole idea on. And we're going to talk about what that article was versus what I turned this mess into. Okay. So He wasn't even mentioned on there. But you would be absolutely right. I'm thinking back to those old fairground black and white footages almost before he made it. Yeah,
Oh my
becoming a
goodness,
sensation.
Robin just came in with a super thanks, hun.
Oh my goodness,
Thank
a
you so
$3
much.
super thanks.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
so
The
sweet.
power of three.
Uh-huh.
Rockin' Robin Bird, just a $3 super thanks. That's all she did. She's giving me a little. All
Oh.
right, the devil horns. Dawson, are you out there, Dawson? Look at this. She's giving me the devil horns, man. That's awesome. I was
Oh my
chiding Dawson
goodness.
last night on Royce, and it's a complicated story because the reason I was chiding him was because of something happening on Caitlin's stream. So, and then I see this, and it just reminded me of that, that whole thing.
Yes, I
All
see.
right. So, back to where we were with Retro Beats comment. Um, he's talking about Buddy Holly. Now, Buddy Holly was in that article. Now, the article that I took as a basis, right, was a UCR article that said the greatest trios in rock history. All right. So that had a different flavor than what I'm trying to do here. But I knew the article would have a lot of the bands that I would agree with. I also knew that there was a good chance there'd be a lot of bands in there that I'm not aware of, and there were. I think part of that is a couple of them came from genres I'm not fond of, right? So I don't know them. I've heard of them, but I don't go there, that type of thing, right? And uh, but the list was the 30 top trios in rock history, and Buddy Holly was on it. I think he was about halfway down the list, so maybe number 15, as I recall, retro, right? And when I did my stream last night, I said, now, if you guys want to go that way, um, we'll go that way. In other words, we can just do the top 30 trios. But what I would suggest is what we do is use this as a basis and then build our own classic rock. And of course, I said classic rock from,
Oh my
1965
goodness,
up
Deuces
until the
Wild
end of
just came in
grunge.
again. Thank you so much, Deuces Wild.
Oh, I
That's
see
so
this. Yes.
awesome.
Deuce is
Thank you,
in with a
Deuces.
$10 super thanks. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Deuce.
that's awesome.
I remember Lemmy of Motorhead saying he remembers before there was rock and roll. What a wild thing to say.
Oh.
Trapeze is another great trio. Okay, now keep that in mind because they're not on the list that I have ready. Kimberly, would you take a screenshot of and then just blow it up to Deuce's comment here for me?
Okay.
Okay. Trapeze is another great trio. Early Glenn Hughes. Oh, yeah. Okay. But the name wasn't coming to me. All right. So much for us to dig into. Yes, there is. Excellent comment. Okay, so what I wanted to do was turn it into a classic rock, and of course, we identified that time period. Not even power trios, trio groups, and we also came because most of you agreed with me. The vast majority of you wanted to go, yeah, let's keep it to the classic rock era, and let's keep that rule where Michael suggested that they have to be able to perform adequately as a trio. And I gave you the example last night. The Supremes was on that list, retro. I'm a major Supremes fan. Are you kidding me? I grew up with that. Right next to you'd hear Hey Jude, and then all of a sudden you'd hear Love Child. I mean, it was, an exchange. Oh, yeah, there's a great tune. And here's another great tune, right? Uh, but I had suggested, everybody was still voting and giving me their input, and I took into consideration all of your comments after the stream as well. If you made any comments on the replay, Okay. Right up until when I was ready to go on right now, I updated it all. I responded or gave you a heart and everything. So I'm aware of what your suggestions were. And I added those to tonight's list. Okay. So we agreed, let's make sure that's happening. And the reason that the Supremes would not be in that on that list was because they were a singing group with a backing band behind them. As a group, they could not perform. However, Crosby, Stills, and Nash could. They often performed with more musicians behind them, but they could and did perform as a trio. Okay. And some of the best footage ever of Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, or Crosby, Stills, and Nash, are on YouTube of just the three of them playing and nothing going on other than Stephen Stills guitar. Every once in a while, you might even have David Crosby on guitar as well. Usually Nash, just supplying the vocals. But there's I like those. I like the guitar driven songs and things like that. Nash will get on piano every once in a while. But now you get it, right? Okay. So after I looked at everything that I saw in your comments and everything, I then sliced away because I could tell there was a consensus that what we were going to do is do exactly what I've just explained. And so what I did from that point was I cut from that UCR list bands like the Crickets who were not performing in 1965 and being a sensation at that time, right? The Supremes for the reasoning I just gave you, and that whittled their 30 down to, I don't know, it must have been 12 or 13, 14, pretty much half, of the list. And then I started adding my suggestions, but I still needed more. And so I then would cut my suggestions out every time I got a vote from you. All right. So the list I'm going to give you tonight, and we're going to go over that in just a minute, uh, will be the list that we've concocted. And the problem is now the list is at 42. We got to cut it down tonight, folks. But I did want to announce that the channel. All right, if you're watching this, please give me a thumbs up first of all. You know, I know I go into streams, I'll start watching, I'll totally forget to give a thumbs up to people, but it is important. It does help us content creators. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and do that. If you haven't subbed to this channel, uh, I urge you to do so. All right. We have just reached 45,000 subscribers. Not only that, we're exactly 20 away from becoming 45,000.1 or 45,100 subscribers. The channel has grown exponentially, right? However, we've had our tough times. We're, I think, coming out of those tough times. So if you're wondering what's going on here, what is this live stream? Why did I call it Tribal Forum number 41? What's a tribal forum? What is this tribe that you speak of? Uh, it basically, the tribe is my viewers, whether you're a subscriber or not. So in the tribe, I have my viewers. And then you have the inner core tribes. Those are the ones who have subscribed or comment, because sometimes I have commenters who don't subscribe, right? So that goes in. And then you focus more and more in. The tribe consists of people from all over planet Earth, every corner of planet Earth, who believe in different political systems, who believe in different ways of life, uh, whose cultures often clash against each other, but we all here at the tribe have one thing in common. We love classic rock and roll, first of all, and we love a forum. Ah, he used the word, Mildred. That's right. We love a forum where people can speak their minds. It doesn't matter who they voted for president, right? They could just speak their minds that, yeah, I think Grand Funk is one of the best bands to ever exist. Well, I disagree with you. I think they're highly overrated. There's where the drama begins and ends because we all also try to treat each other with respect. All right. And a grin on our face, just a slight wink of the eye as we disagree, right? And then that gets read by other people. So, a big thank you to each and every one of you who have supported this channel and its amazing growth cycle. Now, I'm still, I'm a shop around the corner, right? Compared to big, yeah, if I was 100,000, right, I would be in the infant stage of being a big channel, right? So at 45,000, I'm not even halfway there. But in my local neck of the woods, I've done a decent, fair middling for myself, and the channel has. I know content creators who make uh, as good a content as me out there, and my channel has grown so much, and some of them have trouble growing. I have been blessed a couple of times along the way. All right, a good share. You never know anything about a power of sharing a video, but Helene Spalding shared my video with another content creator who was way bigger than me, and he gave me some sunshine. Right, I got my first, like I said, uh, I think it's 10 to 14. I'd have to look back, but 1,000 subscribers off him. So I felt it was my responsibility to show Wayne from Soul Train Bro. All right, he's the guy that brought me in a lot of subscribers early on in this channel. But it's been my pleasure to report to you since that effect wore off, I've grown just fine, baby. All right. And I almost feel it's my responsibility to be worthy of Wayne's trust in me. Okay. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that because last night's stream was supposed to be a bit of a celebration. Yay, we made it. We could all dance in the aisles and out in the peanut gallery, right? So anyway, a big thank you to all of you who supported me with that announcement on merch. I'm still behind on getting that, but I'm forcing myself to mention. Another person in the comments suggested another thing for a mug or a T-shirt. I've said I'd like to put out a "We Are the Tribe" mug. Um, or tribal chieftain or tribal elder mugs. Another one that I noticed you guys are using almost in every single stream. So this is from all of you. The tribe rocks. All right. And let's see. And someone else suggested it's a tribal thing, right? It's a tribal thing. Anyway, those are coming, but I've been so busy with these streams and then catching up on my regular videos. And the last couple of videos, boy, tons of comments. So anyway, I wanted to kind of let you guys know about that. All right, so now let's get on to this magical list that I've been hinting at. All right. Now, the first through ZZ Top are so 19 um, of their stars survived. Okay, so up to of course ZZ Top is one of the contenders we're looking for. See, we're going to get this down to 32
Oh my
to a
goodness,
field of
Ben
32
Scheiniger
tonight.
just gave a super
I
thanks.
see
Oh,
that.
thank you so much, Ben.
Let
So
me check.
sweet.
Oh, Ben, yes, thank
Oh,
you. $5, wonderful, Ben.
oh, so
Man,
very
you're so
nice.
awesome. I've been subscribed to your channel for almost 3 years now. Yeah, you go back, Ben. Your
Oh,
content has always been fruitful. Thanks for everything, Michael. Oh no, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. If you go back 3 years with me, then you go back to when I was still learning to edit, and I'd be jerking all over the place and things like that in my videos. I had no control of my hands back in those days. I'm a hand talker anyway, folks, in case you couldn't tell, right? But those early videos are, whoa, yeah, pretty scary, huh? Who was it that was saying, was it, yeah, the Prod Corner Scott Lade saying that he was reminiscing on some of his earlier videos, and I just wrote into him and said, I'm still learning how to make good videos. If I can ever figure that out, but they have gotten better, and that's my pledge to you guys, right? Right. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's that, babe?
I was just wondering who ELP, the band ELP.
ELP, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, she goes, oh yeah, they're great.
One of many says
Yeah, yeah.
ELP. So
Yeah, well, when you've read enough rock articles, as some of my folks here in the Peanut Gallery, you get it down to ELO is Electric Light Orchestra.
I learned
right?
so much from you guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's not a rock aficionado like I am. I mean that stuff interests me, and she loves music.
I
though.
love it. Yeah.
And she's interested in hearing it when I share a bit piece here, as long as I don't go on for a day and a half. But then she forgets it. I could tell her the same story 3 weeks later, and she wouldn't know that I was retelling it.
My memory is terrible.
So here are the survivors from the UCR list. Them Crooked Vultures. Wonderful. I've been listening a lot to that album.
Robin just came in with
I just saw this. Yeah.
$2.
$2. All right, her second one in tonight, right?
So sweet.
I also have been 3 years and have always enjoyed the channel. Thank you, Rock and Robin. I appreciate it, darling. Really, I do. It's you guys that have been with me for the whole kind of swing. I mean, because there was a jarring period there where one day I'm making how-to videos and with an occasional Beatle video on, to all of a sudden just directing my channel's full rock and roll. And, it's beyond me why I didn't think of doing that right away. Okay. I mean, I'm a musician, I'm a singer songwriter, right? I have been in bands all my life. I've been performing since I was 3 or 4 with my dad's band, one way or another. I'm a major fan. I tend to remember a lot of details that stick to my head. And it's like, no brainer, right? No, the dumb shit opens a channel and starts teaching people how to edit. Yeah, the same dumb shit that just told you he had to learn how to edit and he's still learning how to edit. I was going to teach you how. Yeah. Anyway, so for those of you who stuck with me through that time period, damn, you know me inside and out. You really do. All right, so let's get on to this list. The survivors, the first 19. Them Crooked Vulture, like I was saying, I've been listening a lot to that album. I love it. I love it. Got some, hey, John Paul Jones, yeah. Triumph, Stray Cats, Beck Bogert Appice. See, I slipped back in. For years, that's what I called him. Beck Bogert Appice. Blink 182, Primus, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, The Jam, Husker Du, Green Day, James Gang, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Nirvana, Cream, Rush, Genesis, Motorhead, The Police, ZZ Top. Then I added the following from my list and your list that I took out of the comments, right? Whether I knew anything about that band or not. They're now on the top 42. We're going to start with number 20, and that is the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Grand Funk Railroad, America, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Blue Cheer, Hot Tuna, and we discussed that. Hot Tuna
Oh my
released
goodness.
4 albums as a trio.
Josh just sent a super thanks.
I
Thank you
just
so
saw that.
much, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
That's
Oh, yeah.
great.
Josh usually comes in with great info. When will you do a segment on solo albums? I'd like to suggest Elias of Sun Hillo by John Anderson of Yes. Damn, that would be really a great. You know what? I may, yeah, take a screenshot of that,
Okay.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a John Anderson fan. You're not
Oh
asking
yeah.
too much of me. Let me see what I can do about that, Joss. All right. Thank you. Oh, and $10. A $10 super thanks.
So
And Josh is usually a wealth of information. Good to see you in the chat. All of you are. I could have picked 10 or 15 of you. Oh, I just saw just the facts. Man,
yeah.
Troll was eliminated. Ah, did we have troll
Looks like
activity?
we've got several that were timed out.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if that would happen because one of my favorite trolls was actually streaming today, and so I figured I got mentioned a couple of times, right? So I kind of figured that might happen, and you know what? That's exactly why I deputized two more of you. Thank you, tribe. We are impervious. These fools, these morons of mediocrity shall not be tolerated. All right. Bye. So anyway, let's see.
Right.
What else do we have here? Okay. So I was right down the middle. I I got eliminated there. Oh, I was answering okay. And then I saw just the facts man in, and I wanted to acknowledge Dan. It just out of the corner of my eye, and then I saw Troll eliminated. All right. So from this point on, again, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Grand Funk Railroad, America, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Double Trouble. Damn right. Blue Cheer, Hot Tuna, we talked about. They were a trio for a bit. Mountain, the Robin Trower trio, right? Budgie, Government Mule. All of the stuff I knew from Government Mule was later when they added a fourth person, and I never got back into their original. Like I said, I was turned on to them by a friend. So one of you said, "Well, no, they start off as a trio." So I looked up the information. Oh, good lord! Then I started listening to some of the music. It was great, yeah. So right on the list there. The 5, 6, 7, 8 was one that. Survive from that list. I took them off, but then I put them back here. So, West, Bruce, and Lang, Big Star, and only this I may be one that goes by the wayside here because we got to get this down to 32. We got to eliminate at least 10 of these names tonight, and I need your help. All right. They weren't a trio, but they toured as a trio. Okay. So, I don't know. Great band. Then I put Buddy Holly and the Crickets in deference to the fact that out of all of you that kind of wanted to go with no, let's stay with the trio, that's the one that got the most votes. So I added it here, not comfortably, but I thought, there was just so many requests for, but, and I'm a big Buddy Holly and the Crickets fan, right? And if you guys insist, if that's going to be the outlier, he has a shot tonight. All right. Then, oh yeah, Rory Gallagher and Taste. If you're going to have Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, you better have Rory Gallagher and Taste on the band. I didn't think of them. Creedence Clearwater Revival. They were officially a trio before they broke up. Not their best album, but they were a trio and they could, theoretically still get together and be the same trio they were when Brother Tom left the band. Okay. So I went ahead and included that, right? Uh, and then The Warning, which I didn't know anything about, but one of you wrote that in as. And these are Mexican sisters who play all different instruments, and I didn't have time to listen to any of their music. But I looked at their bio. I go, yeah, they okay, cool. We'll put them on the list. Frigid Pink and Band of Gypsies. If you're going to have the Jimi Hendrix experience, right? One of you brought that up. Only one vote for it so far, but valid. So I added it to the list. And then a German band called Trio. Uh, and then one of you even offered, and I put it on the list, Wings, because on Bandit on the Run, Wings was a trio. The whole album was, recorded as a trio. And there's, a certain amount of truth that truly Wings was a trio all along, with filling other wing members coming in and out, always with Denny Lane, Linda McCartney, and Paul McCartney. But I added it to the list. And then one of you guys out there inducted the Honeybees. Now, Kimberly, I want you to look. I want to see who's the first one who knows who the Honeybees are.
Okay.
In the comments.
Okay.
All right. From this point on, I want to hear it. Who are the Honeybees? Come on, guys. Got to have some fun, right?
Oh, Irga Split and Loud Boomer got it.
Gilligan's Island. That's right.
Good
Yeah.
You,
I mean, how could you hate a band with that has Mrs. Howell on lead vocals? I love it. I got it the second somebody typed that in. I went, oh awesome. Yeah, there you go. I'm adding it. Damn it, I'm adding it.
These guys know it all.
Okay, so now, Kimberly, anytime you,
oh my goodness,
if you
Michael
could,
Boswell just came.
I saw that just as I started looking down.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Oh boy.
All right, and the Bee Gees has to be on the list, and the only reason I didn't put them on the list, and if I get any dittos to this tonight, Michael, I'll add them right now. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll add them. Let's do that. Okay. Kimberly will be happy.
Yeah. Okay.
The only reason I didn't include them, Michael, was because they're not a band. They always have this band behind them. They're musicians, yes. They play in their band and everything. But it was, and the Bee Gees I grew up with, the drummer and the other members of the Bee Gees, and this is before disco, they were serious members of that band. Fans knew them all. Of course, they knew that the brothers Gibb were there, right?
Yeah.
But we'll put it on there. We got to have to get rid of, and this is where I don't have any power. All right, I've assembled this mess. I've given you 43, if you include the honeybees. All right. So now what we need to do, Kimberly. Oh, and Michael, thank you so much for your super thanks. Again, Michael is one of those guys. Hey, he stands his ground with me. He doesn't agree with everything I have to say, but he's willing to hear it, and even come in with the power of two, a $2 super thanks on top of that. So I always appreciate you, Michael. You know that. Okay, so what I'm going to ask of you guys is in the comments here, and then if you're watching this later on replay, I'll be following those. From this point on, Kimberly, I need you to start.
Goodness,
I see it. Let me get that to you.
Storm sent 5.
Oh my goodness.
Membership.
Oh, good Lord.
So sweet. Thank you guys.
Okay, I can reset from this point anyway. Let me go to. I always shut down for super thanks and stuff. Anybody who's willing to put their money on the line gets my attention. Just the facts, man. Personal friend, as I've said before. Great content creator, right? Just secured an interview with Mark Farney.
Right? Facts, man.
Yeah, I said that. Kimberly's going, they need to subscribe to Just the Facts, man. And I'm going, yeah, I said that earlier. But sometimes she's typing responses to you and she doesn't know I've already said that. Of course you subscribe to Just the Facts, man. Matter of fact, if you go over there, there's a bonus right now. There's always amazing stuff there. But him and Royce just did an interview with Mark Farner, Grand Funk. Railroad, one of the bands that's in contention tonight that will be facing off with these other bands. I mean, this interview was what? This is Monday. What was it? A week ago, Thursday, last Thursday? So, real current interview. This is like you won't find anything newer readily available on the internet, right? And Mark goes to town, speaks his mind, right? You'll get a chance to know that. Storm Cop came in and he bought
Yeah.
five gift memberships. Wow, Storm Cop, thank you so much. You know, that's a pretty nice gift,
He's
both to the
always
channel
giving.
and yes, he is. Yeah. Well, I've said it until I'm blue in the face. Storm Cop is, for all intents and purposes, my
He's
oldest
wonderful.
Patreon, and certainly my oldest Patreon that has thrown money at me and wants
Oh,
me to be
yeah.
successful, probably even more than I want to be successful, to tell you the truth. What did you call yourself, head flunky, one time? I go, not
Oh.
on my shift. No, 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 no. No way, brother. So, if
Oh my
you get
goodness. Bill
an
Hawkins
offer,
just came in with a super
I
thank
see
you.
that. I'll
Oh,
be
thank
right
you so
with you,
much,
Bill
Bill.
Hawkins. Oh my goodness,
Oh, so
$20.
nice.
Let me get through here. I still got to read Dan's comment. Grand Funk Railroad
Oh,
were only a trio from '69 to '72 until they added Craig Foss on keyboards. Do they still
oh,
qualify? Yeah, they would, in my opinion, Dan. But tonight, it's possible they can be knocked off the list. I'd hate to see that. But I've often said, and always have said, many times on Royce, that my favorite lineup of Grand Funk was them as a trio. Craig Foss. I never wanted Craig Foss in the band, and the point on in your interview where Mark Farner says he never wanted Craig Foss in the band, I went. I wonder how many viewers will remember me saying that like about 1,000 times on Royce's channel over the last 3 years. And Craig Frost is fine, and there's records they made with him that are fine. I didn't want him in the band. I didn't want him on stage. I wanted my power trio, Dan, because to me that's what Grand Funk is. I think that's their legacy. I think uh, it's like Grand Funk Railroad. And then maybe that's when they should have started calling themselves Grand Funk, is when Craig joined. It doesn't mean they were bad or anything like that. He was a great keyboardist, but I became just really a whole lot less interested at that point. I just loved the syncopation between Mel and Don and Mark, and Mark scratching his guitar as Mel would go into an ultra percussive, almost slapping at the bass type of thing with what was the joke on the Simpsons? The great lead guitarist Mark Farner and the wonderfully bass endowed Mel Shocker and the adequate drumming of Don Brewer. When I saw that on the Simpsons, I went, "You assholes." He is a fantastic freaking drummer, right? And the adequate drumming of Don Brewer. Jeez. And Stormcop, if you get any of these offers, take them up. I'm going to have
oh
to
my
catch up
goodness.
here.
Michael Boswell just came in with
I just saw
another
that.
super
Okay.
thanks. Oh, Michael, thank you so much.
I
You're
will be,
awesome.
yeah, you know what? I'm going to be with Michael and Bill here in just a minute. I did want to make a
Oh,
comment here on Cop's wonderful gift.
oh,
If you get an offer to get the channel, become a member for free, I strongly urge you to take that offer. I wish, and so does Storm Cop, that we could just give this as an offer and first come, first serve, but evidently the algorithm takes care of all of that, right? So it spits out, and I don't know what its directives are, but it spits out and it has directives. Probably if you comment a lot, there may be a chance that you get that offer. but every once in a while we've got somebody coming in with such a wonderful gift, and I encourage those kind of gifts as well, because I want to get the channel member portion of this channel
And we want to get
really
merch.
going.
Yeah, everybody wants merch, huh?
Yeah, the merch, they're saying the merch. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's all coming. I mean, since January 18th, I've kicked this channel into freaking high gear. I was so exhausted last week. That's why I didn't stream midweek last week. I couldn't do it. It was like, although I did manage to shoot a video, right? Edit another one and release that as an independent video. Three shorts and two polls, at least one poll, and that's me in low mode, right? Other days it's like I'm doing research for upcoming shoots for tomorrow, or I'm editing something I just shot this afternoon. I mean, it gets really, really busy. So thank you so much. And I want to keep you guys. I want to keep you over there. So it's my intention. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I have to shoot my next members only video, right? It's on the schedule, Tuesday shoot. So anyway, a lot's happening over there, and you get stuff there that you don't get on the regular channel, right? Really interesting stuff, and I've got several ideas on where to go from where we are now. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I didn't pass. Yeah, Bill was next. Bill Hawkins in with a $20 super thanks. Thank you so much. Sorry, I've been MIA. Daughter is buying a house, and I'm heavily involved. Young bloods, young bloods, young bloods. Is Are you talking young bloods? Were they a trio, or are you calling your daughter a young blood? Well, I don't want to assume, Kimberly,
Yeah.
but yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a big trip, huh? Having to house hunting, renting,
Oh
moving,
my goodness, yeah, that is a
cleaning.
major to
Mm,
do. A
you
major
know.
to do.
But I'm glad you're there for your daughter, brother. Really, seriously. Not That's a good time to have a dad around, right? I love it. Family first. Family before politics. Every freaking time. Michael Boswell in with a $10 super thanks. My point is that the voice is an instrument, and the Bee Gees sang a cappella. Yes, they did. And their voices were a band. Without that, there would have been no success. Good point, Michael. Good point. Well, as you know, on your first thing, I put them on there, and I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to argue for them or against them at this point. As a matter of fact, from this point on, what I need to do is now start hearing from you. Okay, give me. Um,
So Reggie says the jam. Have you heard of the jam?
the jam. Yeah, the jam's on here.
Jam. Okay, the jam's on there.
Yeah, yeah. I put the jam on there. Let's see. Better be on there.
ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Jorge Pita says ZZ Top.
ZZ Top is on there, Jorge.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for the jam. I thought they were up the jam. Huh. I'm not seeing it. But
Reggie said the jam.
They are on now. They may be on twice. They are. I just found them. Yes. So also edgy. I did have them. So there. I erased it. Yeah, the jam. There. I named them right after Green Day, James Gang, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. The Jam, Nirvana, Cream. All right, and so I'm going to just go down the list real quick. I'm not no comments about any of these in case you've just joined the stream, and then we need to get busy. Them Crooked Vultures, Triumph, Stray Cats, Beck, Bogart, and Appice, Blink 182, Primus, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Husker Du, Green Day, James Gang, Crosby, Stills, Nash, The Jam, Nirvana, Cream, Rush, Genesis, Motorhead, The Police, ZZ Top, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Grand Funk Railroad,
Genesis.
America, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Blue Cheer, Hot Tuna, Mountain, Robin Trower Trio, Budgie, Government Mule, The 5678s, West, Bruce, and Lang, Big Star, they toured as a trio, Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Rory Gallagher and Taste, the Honeybees, Wings, The Warning, Frigid Pink, Band of Gypsies, Trio, a German band called Trio, the Bee Gees. Did I add them twice? Nope. Good. And the Honeybees I added twice, and Young Bloods. Okay. So now I need to hear from you guys, and what what I'm having problems with here is for people uh, who are just coming into the stream. All right. So from this point on,
The Police.
Uh, Kimberly,
Yeah.
from this point on, I want you to look at band names and start taking um,
Screenshots.
screenshots. Now, before you guys enter a band name, remember the band name that you're going to enter now are out of those people, the ones that you don't want on the list. Okay? So I'll give you an example. You're not a Government Mule fan. You never have been. You can't stand Warren Haynes. Type in Government Mule. You don't want them to win. And type that in from this point on. From this point on, you see a band name, Kimberly. Give it a screenshot. If you watch this later, this is how I want you to vote in the comments. Okay? Is give me the band name you don't want on this list. And I will cut this down to a field of 32. I will start the poll, and by the time I do my next stream, we'll have results, okay, to report on. All right, so for example, I'm seeing Green Day in there, Kimberly. I'm seeing Bee Gees. I see another Bee Gees. I see another Green Day, right? Okay, so start taking screenshots of those because I want to tabulate those as much as possible while you guys are typing in and you're doing that. We'll have this moment of interaction. We're going to keep this going for a few minutes. While you're doing that, I'm going to read that list again. Okay, because I don't want you flicking back and which did he say, right? So again, and then I will repeat it a third time. By the time I'm done with the third time, then that's the time I'll quit making screenshots for this. Okay. Because I want to get immediate results, but you can still vote on the replay of this stream. See how this works? All right. So keep voting. I see other Green Day, Green Day, Green Day must go. I didn't know there was so much hate for Green Day. I like some of their stuff. I'm not a big Green Day fan, though, really. Stray Cats, ouch. Triumph is getting voted. Ooh, oh my goodness. Some biggies are taking it, you know. Blink 182, God bless you, Vince Seidecker. All right, so here we go. Second round as I repeat these bands. Please vote because this will affect, and of course, when we're done, you're going to get a chance to vote on the poll itself. But if you want your bands on that poll and some of these bands are in the way and you just don't like them, now's a good time to let me know. Here we go again. Them Crooked Vultures, Triumph, Stray Cats, Beck, Bogart, and Appice, Blink 182, Primus, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Husker Du, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day, James Gang, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, The Jam, Nirvana, Cream, Rush, Genesis, Motorhead, The Police, ZZ Top. We're almost halfway through this list. Remember, you're giving me band names you don't want on this list. You don't believe they should be on this list that we've been discussing as the greatest trio bands of classic rock. All right. All right. So think of that. All right. So here we go. Um, do we get down Crosby, Stills, Nash, The Jam, Nirvana, Cream, Rush, Genesis, Motorhead, The Police, ZZ Top, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Grand Funk Railroad, America, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Blue Cheer, Hot, Tuna, Mountain, The Robin Trower Trio, oh, one of my favorites, Budgie, Government Mule, The 5, 6, 7, 8s, West, Bruce, and Lang, Big Star, who toured as a trio, Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Rory Gallagher and Taste, the Honeybees. Seriously. Uh, Creedence Clearwater Revival. There's not been any votes for the Honeybees yet, baby.
No, I haven't seen them once.
You're going to let the Honeybees oh my God. Okay. Uh, guys, you can vote. Let's keep it to like 3 or 4 votes. All right. Yeah. You don't just get one vote, not during this focus time period. All right. If I see, that's okay. If you've got more than one or two. But it would be really weird if I had to put the honeybees on this poll. They're surviving. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Wings. They gave the example of Band on the Run, and the argument that really Wings was Denny, Linda, and Paul all along. So someone asked to have that put on there. The Warning, Frigid Pink, Band of Gypsies, Trio, the Bee Gees, the Honeybees. Oh, I do have them on twice, right? Guess I do. Yeah. And then Young Bloods. Okay. So,
Okay. Boy, I got a lot of screenshots.
are we?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a lot of
Good.
screenshots.
All right. So, once again, before I go over this a third time, all right, before we go over this the third time, what we're voting on, because I don't want you guys to, if you're just joining the stream, this is it. What we're trying to do is we took a master list from a UCR article that had the 30 greatest trios in rock history. And of course, they had things like the Supremes in it, and Buddy Holly and the Crickets was one. But we've added him because of you guys voting to have him in, right? So he's in this list. But for the most part, we took the girl groups out, the only vocal groups out. I took out the Bee Gees for that main reason. Even though they're musicians, they don't perform. I guess you could probably find where they have, but Michael Boswell has come to the Bee Gees rescue. It's back in there, and they are a major player, Michael. You know, so the only thing I'm asking you to vote on is these are the bands that we came up with based on that article, the survivors from that article, and then some suggestions I made on my stream last night. For example, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and then you guys dittoed that all over the place. One of you even saying, "Well, if you're going to include the Experience, what about Band of Gypsies?" And that's why the Band of Gypsies are on here. But if you are like, "Oh, I like Hendrix, and I really like the Experience, but man, Band of Gypsies, I don't know. That's not my thing." And you like everything else that's on this list, Band of Gypsies could get a negative vote. Or the Experience. Anybody can, right? If you don't want these bands in. All right, so I'm just giving you guys time to keep typing in whatever you can, right? Don't want to interfere with anybody's, juju. I'm just not feeling it, Michael. Uh, the vote has come to me, right? I shall choose. All right, so here we go. Third and final time. And then I want to get to some of your early comments. All right. Third and final time, but you can still vote after this time period. It's just we're not going to be taking screenshots. So if you want me to see it, you're going to have to see this on the replay. You don't have to watch the replay, but you go on over there, let it play for a minute, give me a view, right? But and then type in your suggestions, and I'll try to remember to make sure. Well, see, yeah, I'll try to make sure to remember to add and pin a comment from me uh, asking the
Oh my
exact same
goodness,
question I've
Juices
done
Wild
tonight.
just came in with
I
the
saw that
super
Deuces
thanks.
Wild Power of
Thank you,
Two,
Juices.
$2 super thanks.
Oh,
Derringer, Bogart, and Apis made 2 albums. Awesome. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, does anybody else want to help with this write in? Here we go. You see, we haven't had enough time to vote on it, but I'll tell you what. Uh, give me enough. Look for any more Derringer, Bogart, and that piece write-ins, baby. And if I get enough write-ins for this suggestion, Deuce, I'll add it to the list. All right. And we'll see what's going on. Now, if I still wind up with too many, as your humble tribe master, I will do the final cutting. But I would like to get this business all done by you. I only,
oh my goodness,
I only make,
Melissa
I only
Boomer of the
intercede in
night
the case
just
of a
came in
tie.
with a super thanks.
Oh, I see that.
Oh, thank you
Melissa,
so much,
Boomer of the
Melissa.
Night, longtime supporter of this channel,
Oh,
of my Patreon back in the day, too. You know,
oh,
thank you,
thank
Melissa, so
you.
much. Melissa says, Head chieftains, I must rest, but for top, I need to go with taste and the Crickets. Much love, all. So another vote for the Crickets. Crickets. I'm not seeing who you're voting to get kicked out, but there was a lot of votes for the Crickets. That's why I re-added them. Okay, like I said, I only speak up when, like, if there's a tie involved, right? Or whatever, or if there, in this case, a trimming needs to be done. But I am going to keep this to your word. And here is the final reading. Okay. Here's the final reading and the final time that you have to vote live where I'm taking screenshots. Once again, you can do this later on
Yes.
replay. All right, here we go. Them crooked vultures. Uh, these are who are on the list of 42. We can't have 42. I need to whittle this down to 32. So yeah, you're looking for out of these bands, ones you don't think should be on this list. That's what I want to see right now. Just in case you just joined us. See how I do this, folks? All right. Them Crooked Vultures, Triumph, Stray Cats, Beck Bogart Nappies, Blink 182, Primus, Emerson Lake and Palmer, Husker Du, Green Day, James Gang, Crosby, Stills and Nash, The Jam, Nirvana, Cream, Rush, Genesis, Motorhead, The Police, ZZ Top, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Grand Funk Railroad, America, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Blue Cheer, Hot Tuna, Mountain, Robin Trower Trio, Budgie, Government Mule, The 5678, West, Bruce, and Lang, Big Star, toured as a trio, Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Rory Gallagher and Taste. Melissa just voted for Taste to be taken off. Was that what it was? Or to have them on? Oh, I hope she's on there. Let us know, uh, Melissa, if you voted to have them on or off, because it was a super thanks and separate. I didn't know if you were saying they should be on there. I love Rory Gallagher and Taste, but everybody has different taste. The honeybees. Are they surviving? Ah, don't make me make Don't make me make an overriding decision. I couldn't do that to Mrs. Howell. Oh my God. Uh, let's see. Creedence Clearwater Revival, who ended their career as a trio, so I guess they do. Not a great album, but Wings, and you've heard my explanation of that. The Warning, Frigid Pink, Band of Gypsies, Trio, a German band called Trio, the Bee Gees, and the Youngbloods. Okay? So that give you, and we'll let you keep typing in for a second here, and then we'll get on down the road here. All right. So I was worried, to tell you the truth, because when I first saw that article and I knew what I wanted to cut out of it to kind of make it kind of fit my channel a little bit, I was worried, even by bands they chose, that, oh boy, I don't like them at all. I, I don't even see them quite rock and roll, you know. But see, that's one of the cool things about doing this is I can put it all in your hands. There was a time when I would make those decisions and then you'd respond to whatever opinion piece I'd put on. And I still do that with my regular videos, right? But here on the tribal forum is when we have more interaction, where we can kind of get a jive of what each other is thinking and grooving to and everything else. And I got to tell you, I was worried that I couldn't get a field of 32, by the cuts I saw initially, right? And here we've wound up with a field of actually 43, not 42. So we've got, because I added the young bloods. All right. So I need to hear from you guys, and we will take it from there. Now, it's interesting, um, talking about Stevie Ray Vaughan like we did on Royce's show. If you haven't seen that, you guys got to go over there and see uh, that stream. Um, we the stream, it's weird. I was watching. I always review Royce's show and I review my show, uh, because then I can see, okay, how did I present myself? Uh, how did I mix well with the other panelists? Did I make my points? Is there some? Did I make some glaring mistake that I'll have to apologize for on the next stream? Right? I mean, that's how any content creator will tell you. That's the life of a content creator, and so uh, I felt that when on that stream last night, we kind of got off subject from time to time. So there are these lulls in the video. But I'm telling you, if you watch the video, watch the whole video, there are some moments of explosions throughout and evenly distributed. So if you got to a point where we were contemplating our navel in the discussion, get on over there, because I can guarantee you, uh, a minute and a half after we're contemplating our navel, nuggets of wisdom was coming and being expounded from the panel, one and all. I thought it was a good stream, right? So anyway, and of course, Royce is my main man. Well, always shall be. He's pretty much my main. He's the guy that I became friends with online. First guy in the universe that I ever did that with. Dan is another, right? So anyway, get on over there and see that. You've got to watch it. I believe in that video, right? I'm even thinking of maybe, except that then if I do that, then that pulls me off from making. Well, you guys let me know. As a matter of fact, I could do an edit of that stream and put it over onto my members' uh, videos over there, that would get where it's follows the main point. Um, Except that I was planning on shooting yet another members only video. But if any of you want to wanted to see that instead. And then, of course, I'd shoot a members only video a few days later. But if I did it that way, then I would have to be shooting a regular video in between the upcoming members only. So let me know. Again, that's something you want to type in with the on the replay. Let me know what you'd like to think. And if I don't hear from any of you, as usual, I'll just make an executive kind of decision and do it from there. Go with my gut, right? But I like to get you guys as involved as possible, really. Uh, and that's what this is all about. So now, what's going to happen from this point on is we're going to be taking a look at um, the results. I'm going to be tabulating all night, right? Then I'm going to put a field of 32. And then I'm going to do a multi-part quiz. So let everybody know, you know, tell a friend. Oh, no, it's not going to do that, Martha. Tell a neighbor. Martha, he's going to do it. Use your mental powers and telekinetic. He did it. Anyway, let them know about the poll. I'd like to get a goodly amount of responders to this poll. And so it may not be until Thursday, possibly Friday. I'm hoping I have enough time. This is Monday. May not be till Thursday until I stream again. Okay. It also depends on local weather patterns and everything else. But I'm hoping to get enough time to get this poll in. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up for this special edition.
This was fun.
What's that?
I said this was fun.
Oh, yeah. You know, Kimberly's.
This tribe is the best.
Oh, boy. Oh, we're getting a lot of love, are we?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
This tribe does rock. Like Divining Dragon said, this tribe rocks.
Oh, yeah. Divining Dragon. You know, you've got Gearjam that's making Doc Insomnia. You've got Storm Cop. And of course, Divining is also, AKA Storm Cop is James. Divining is Christian. You know, Stephanie's in.
Yes, she is.
Linda's backstage vocals and hand swings better than bloody Yoko screeching away.
Yeah.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. Not a Yoko Ono fan, and a very big Linda McCartney. I've done videos back in the day. Um, uh, Linda was more important to the sounds of Wings than people give her credit for. And yes, she was a klutzy keyboardist who could barely put a chord together at the beginning, but at the end, she was no virtuoso, but she knew what she was doing at the end. She grew into the position, didn't she? CCR still don't consider them a trio, even though they made the lousy Mardi Gras LP. Yeah, I know. But you know, if they got together miraculously, would you consider that to be CCR? And they did officially go, but that's a good point. That's a good point, right? All right, guys. There's no way I can go through these comments. The earlier comments have already scooted up, and these latest comments are the ones of for primarily of you guys voting. So I think we've had a good showing tonight. Stay focused on what's happening with the channel. Keep your eyes open for this poll. I don't know when. It depends if enough of you get in there. I'm hoping in the next. I think I can safely field a part A and a part B pretty quick. All right. And I will try to stagger them because if you put out another poll too soon, that interferes with how many people vote on the poll before. Often. Not always, but often. So I want to give this, if I streamed on Thursday, this is Monday night. See, I got to kind of spread them because we're going to whittle this down. We're going to cut this. Here's what we're going to do at first. I'm going to give you a field of 4 bands to vote on. You will be from this point in the poll. You will be voting on your favorite band to be still included on the list. All right. So for 32, what is that? 4 times 8, 4 times 8? Yes, 32, right?
38.
Yeah. So that'll be an eight-parter. And then we get it into the once we get it whittled down to 16, it'll go to eight. From eight, it goes into the finals, which will be the final four that you'll vote on. The eight will be the semifinals. Quarterfinals will be 16, and you know how it goes. All right. So that's how we're going to handle it. That's how I've handled uh, my polls in the past. I want to thank each and every one of you that showed up. You know, this is amazing. We got into 60 something at my last, kind of look of people watching. And I was amazed that for a part three kind of thing, that we would get that much. And plus, I don't usually stream on Mondays anyway. And then we had to restart this thing. But I want to thank you once again. The channel really has reached a milestone with 45,000 subscribers. I got to tell you, it feels good to sit in that saddle. All right. And I didn't do a damn thing to earn it other than to make my videos. You guys are the ones that joined, right? That's your accomplishment. You're the people who have grown, right? The tribe is larger, and we want a large tribe. We want to be well endowed of spokesmen for classic rock, right? That's the whole gig of the channel is classic rock, right? Where I bring up the very best of classic rock. That's one of my little handles. If you go to my tribe page, the very best of classic rock. And not just that, but the condition of rock and roll and everything. And so we handle current events, we handle past events, we handle albums of the past. I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what I can cover on this channel. And you guys have been there. So many of you in the actual comments tonight have been there from the very beginning. What a ride, huh, folks?
Lounge Boomer said Mr. Rick is in the hospital. Keep him in our prayers and thoughts. Absolutely.
Let's see who now.
Mr. Rick is in the hospital.
Mr. Rick.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what Ergus Split and Loudon Boomer said.
Okay,
Mr. Rick is in the hospital.
Well, blessings to Mr. Rick. Am I missing a
Mr. Rick in our prayers?
Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not aware, Mr. Rick. Oh, okay. I'm not aware of the name, but I thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Blessings and prayers to Mr. Rick. I've often brought up people that I know that are in the chat going through tough times.
Divine Dragon says Dr. Rick said he was being admitted.
Oh God, Dr. Rick. Yeah, okay. No, I didn't know. Room. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we will
Dr. Rick. Okay, blessings to you. All right.
Thank you for telling us.
See, when you know the individual, then right. I didn't know a Mr. Rick, and what I was gonna say was I don't know him, but of course, my thoughts and Dr. Rick is he goes back way back. Oh, Dr. Rick, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I've been there. Says he's being admitted into the emergency room.
Yeah.
Oh, blessings to you, brother. You'll be on my mind all evening, and you'll be in my prayers. I am so sorry. James Redden saying, praying for him. I know we have a lot of people who pray, believe in the power of prayer, and we've got even more that believe in the power of good vibes, right? And we're sending that to you, Dr. Rick. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, what a day. We've had
tribe sticks together.
Yeah, we've had the passing of Sly Stone today.
Yep.
Now Dr. Rick is in the hospital. I mean, that's tribal, that's family. That's that hits a little close to home. Look at all these prayers and well wishes, Dr. Rick, just in case they admit you and you can click in, watching this later. Just to let you know, you're not seeing the live chat right now. Prayers, 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 prayers from everyone. My goodness. Dr. Rick, let's see. Prayers and thoughts from Deuces Wild. I'm sorry, uh, from Gear Jam, James Redding praying, Stephanie
That's a lot of prayers.
Harringtonio writings is praying for you here. So is Doc Insomnia, Rockin' Robin Bird, Divining Dragon, of course, my beloved wife, Kimberly, who has been in the hospital, brother, in the emergency room in this tribe, backed me up in my time of need. Uh, I was about ready to go insane. So she's praying for you, of course. Frank Walton, uh, Jorge Pita, Donna the Frank. Uh, Thank you, Frank. Fax Man, Dan, praying for you. Uh, Christian, of course, I think I said Deuces Wild, Ben, Stephanie. They're just coming in all over the place here, buddy. It's Storm Cop. Uh, Again, Doc Insomnia. Jorge Pita again. Piccolina, prayers to Dr. Rick. And Piccolina the cat, it's good to see you out there. Piccolina's been with me and with Royce for so long. She's I may have inherited her from Royce, actually, I think. You could let me know. And so Dr. Rick comes from that whole uh, group of people, commenters from over in Royce. So Alex Trejo, thank you, Alex. Uh, oh boy, Michael Boswell, of course, Dwayne Chamberlain, Bill Hawkins. And some of these are just repeating, Dr. Rick. They're just repeating, you know, this big long line of well wishing. You have a ton of people at your back, and I can only hope that you pull through this in a good fashion. And I'm so sorry that you're facing that. Uh, Not anybody's good idea. Uh, 10 drafts deep just got in. Well, we're just about ready to wrap up 10 drafts deep. It's good to see you. Uh, but I'll tell you what, watch the replay because you'll get a chance to do some voting and things like that. It'll be worth, a rewatch, I think, for you. Anybody coming in right now or in the last few minutes, I think it'd be good to rewind and watch the show because we're going to do this and that. These are all prequels. This part one, part two, part three. And by the way, you don't have to watch part one, part two, but if you want to, uh, but because I give a recap on this stream at the beginning. So if you're just getting in at the semi beginning, this has been a living, breathing stream all day, brother 10. Uh, and I've had to roll with the punches. Already had to shut down and re engage. It's like, boy, reached 45, and all of a sudden, yeah, that was the whole idea was to have a celebration of reaching 45,000 subscribers. Nobody in hell could have told me I'd ever reach that high, right? I'm thoroughly flabbergasted at that. So I thought, let's celebrate, right? Last night, man, how many times I tried to get on 4 times, 3 actual times got on. One time, a third time that I tried to engage, it shut down the second it started filming me, microsecond. It was like I was there down before I could go, you know. And then today with the loop between devices and everything, it's like I guess I've had my fun, kind of basking, at reaching 45, and it's time to get past this number and reach 50,000, halfway to a silver play. All right, folks, I appreciate you so much. You don't know how much. And I got to tell you, I had fun today. It was fun once things settled down.
Start, but
I like the ones where I can kind of, get feedback and everything more. And even though I didn't get chance to read as many of yours, I like that the best. But it's knowing that we were taking those screenshots and I was getting that real time. I can't wait to review this. And then as I start doing that, start looking at the screenshot and lining them up. That's how I'll do it. And then I'll give you the best damn poll a human knows how to do. All right, folks, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line. Tonight has been Tribal Forum number 41, and I'll see you in my next stream and or video. All right, folks, night and blessings to all. All right.